microphones are muted, but will be opened when appropriate. In order to minimize disruptions to the meeting and connectivity problems, only members of the board have video. Applicants and staff have video access, but have been asked to turn off their cameras until called upon. At that time, they may use shared screen capabilities if appropriate. All chat and question and answer boxes have been disabled. The meeting is being held by a video conference in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. All members of the public body and members of the public participating electronically will be considered present at the meeting and may participate as if physically present at the meeting. All of the members of the board are participating from Superior Township, Michigan. If members of the body are participating from elsewhere, they need to say so, identifying the municipality in the state. There will be an opportunity for public to speak during public hearing. At that time, we will allot 3 minutes per citizen for public comment. Okay, so Lynette, can you do the roll call, please?
Before I do the roll call, I've gotten 2 emails from public citizens. Laura, none of them can connect.
Sorry, Lynette, I accidentally muted you. Go ahead and unmute. Sorry about that. Yep, the link is now correct on the website. For some reason, I was given the June meeting link. So if they just refresh the link, they should be good to go.
And that is muted.
Oh.
I still can't. I think she's still muted.
She's taking the roll, but she's going to realize she's muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, she just did.
I wasn't muted before. I was talking.
Okay, well,
We didn't hear you.
we're having technical issues.
I didn't even mute myself, so that's the interesting part about that.
And I accidentally muted you when I went to unmute myself.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you for telling me that.
But
Okay, Laura, while I'm taking attendance and while Ken is doing the meeting, can you make sure the link is right? And then when he gets started, I will email the 2 people.
It's correct.
Thank you.
Yep, just have them refresh the page.
I will do that. Thank you. Caviston.
Here. Yes.
Henley here. Lewis.
Remember, you need to state where you're at.
Westland, Michigan.
I did.
Finley, Superior Township. Caviston, where are you?
Superior Township.
Linky,
Superior Township.
present. Here, right?
Right.
McGill,
Present Superior.
McKinney,
Here, Superior.
Schwartz,
President Superior Township Hall.
all are in attendance.
Okay. Thank you, Lynette. If I could get somebody to move the agenda.
Move
So
the
moved.
agenda.
Support.
Okay. The only thing I have to say on the agenda tonight is, some of you may have not known, I was on vacation last week. When I came back today, I found that the Parks Commission, through Martha Kern, had made a few suggestions regarding the transfer document for Schrock Park. I talked to Juan about it, and we thought Juan and I just get together and we'd iron out this last little issue. It's regarding non-maintenance or the cost that we're willing to repay the Parks and Recreation Commission for the equipment use for the non-park cut in that we are going to request the Park Commission, but maintenance staff to do. So I think I would like to just table that for until June, and it's like there's no real rush on that. Does anybody have an objection to just tabling Resolution 2021-20 to June?
Supervisor, I'm sorry, I have no objection to it, but I'm assuming you're also going to table it to gather additional information?
No, we got all the information. There's just one issue that's outstanding. I just got back from work or from vacation today. I really didn't have time to address it. I just really found out about it a couple hours ago. So I'm going to work that out with Juan, and then we'll bring it back next month.
So move.
I can support that.
Okay, so that we will table that to the next meeting. And other than that being tabled, the agenda will remain the same, and all in favor of approving the agenda as modified, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. That takes us down to the approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion on the regular?
So move. And Lynette, so move. Lynette, I just want you to know the minutes. You do a really nice job.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My deputy clerk assists with that a great deal.
You do. It's a nice job.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have support for approval of the April 19th meeting?
So move.
Support.
Okay. Any questions on that? Any identified omissions, errors, or mistakes? Seeing none, all in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
We need a motion for the special meeting. And before we get that motion, what I want to just say is, well, I'll address this in the supervisor's report. So if we could just get a motion and get this approved.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor? Any questions on it? All in favor of approving, say aye.
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 All right. This is the time for citizen participation. Laura, is anybody participating, citizen raise their hand and want to comment?
We don't have any raised hands at this point.
All right, so we'll move on from citizen participation. There are no presentations or public hearings tonight, so we'll move right into the supervisor's report. And I have a fairly short report tonight, but the first thing I have to report, which I have already reported to the board, but not to the public, is that the Salem Township versus Superior Township litigation, the lawsuit in which Salem was attempting to compel the Superior Township Board to issue a sewer permit to Salem for the construction of the Godfreyson sewer, there was a motion before Judge Conlon last Friday, and the court made a ruling in that case, and there's a 4-count complaint that Salem alleged against Superior, and the subject matter of that motion was 3 of the 4 counts. The court ruled on those 3 counts and dismissed all 3 against Superior Township. They found for Superior Township on all the counts except the due process claim the claim that we denied Salem Township due process because that wasn't properly before the court that day. So I was at the hearing on Zoom, and what the judge said, which I thought was really indicative of where he may be going with this case, is he said he read the transcript of the special meeting, and he said it looks like the board relied on expert testimony in making their decision. To me, that's a real key clue, because the issue was whether or not we were arbitrary or capricious in the way we approached it. And when the judge said we were relying upon expert testimony, I think it kind of removes that. So the next step is going to be, according to Mr. Landry, he's going to file a motion for summary disposition on the last count, and that will be brought before the court, I would guess probably in August. If we prevail on that, the case is over with, and we will have prevailed on that. So I think that we're looking really good on that, and I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch, though, so we'll see what happens when we file this motion. If the motion was denied for any reason, it would actually go to a trial. But I don't think it's going to go to a trial. I think the judge is going to be able to not have a trial because there's really no more facts to discover. All the facts have been laid on the table sufficiently for the court to make a decision based on the facts. All the judge needs to do is apply the law. And as we heard, the Constitution, the statutes, the cases, they all kind of lined up in our favor on this one. So I'm hopeful that will be taken care of. I got a bid on the parking lot, resurfacing and expansion for the employee parking lot in the rear, which we share with the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department. It came in at $72,000, and so I'm going to get a couple more bids on it and bring it to the June meeting. So here's the idea: the lot needs to be resurfaced anyways. It needs to be milled and 2.5 inches of asphalt put on it. It hasn't been resurfaced, I don't think, in 25 to 40 years. I have no idea when it has been resurfaced. For the new,
I can tell you.
Okay, Brenda.
It was done in about 25 years.
Okay. For the members of the board who are new, we redid the public parking lot, I think in 2016. It was about as bad as this, but since the public wasn't using it, we thought we could hold off for a few years. So I'm going to get a couple more bids, and I think we'll see that on the agenda in June. Now, we're actually going to expand the parking to include 8 more parking spots. So the reason for this is there's been sort of a consolidation by the sheriff's department at our substation. And we have 14 deputies working out of our substation. We have a lieutenant and we have 2 sergeants. Then they have the Marine Command is here. So we keep the boat and a few other things. So when you talk about 14 cars being here on the average per day, police cars, and then you got 14 private cars that pulled in for the police officers' personal vehicles. And then you got Lynette, Brenda, and me, and there's usually always a couple other out there. We actually need more parking. What has happened over the last 2 years is that the police just park on the grass, and it just turns it into mud. And then the park commission comes to me and say, why do we have to allow the police to park on the grass? So it's just something that I think we need to do. And once I get the bids, I'll forward them to everybody so everybody has a chance a couple weeks before the meeting to take a look.
Okay, I have a question, Ken.
Yes.
I think I've asked you this before. It's just the 3 of us officially that should be parking back there as township employees. So we're bearing the costs for this to expand the lot for $72,000 without any cost sharing from the deputies or from the sheriff's department? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. They don't pay us rent. We've absorbed, this was something that was struck by the board in the past. I think the rationale was it's good to have a police department in your community, at least a building or a facility in your community. And so we have decided to bear the cost of that. It will be our asset. If the police ever leave, we will have that as our own parking. If that was the case in the future, we could have all employees park back there, and we could have the front exclusively for public parking. So yes, Lynette, we're going to bear the cost ourselves on this. And when we did the improvement of the bathroom over there in 2015 or whatever it was, we bared the expense on that. The only thing I was able to get out of, we used to clean it for them too.
Sure did. We sure did.
To go ahead and relieve us of that, and now they have their own cleaning service back there.
Okay.
And
thank you. Laura, I'm copying you on this email. We have people who still cannot get on, public people who cannot get on.
Okay, sure. I'll help them out.
Website. So I CC'd you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
okay. Most of the work on Wired Boulevard has now been done. If you remember, we approved some cleanup on Wired at the last meeting, and I will report there was about 12 yards of garbage, just debris that was removed from the easement, and there was over 20 yards of yard clippings, brush, and other waste that had to go to the compost yard. So it looks a lot better. Utilities has both water and sewer line runs down that easement. So Ricky had marked off trees for removal so that all of our structures would be accessible to trucks in case of a break or for maintenance. So I had those removed, and then the road commission is going to come in and start boom mowing. I also put up, yes.
I have a comment and a observation that I've made recently. I did go down Wire and observe that removal of the rubbish and everything that was on the side of the roads. But I'm really growing more and more concerned as I'm driving through the neighborhoods, especially on trash days, where our trash company is leaving a absorbently large amount of debris behind and is not cleaning this up. That's going to start impacting neighborhood streets eventually. Can we please, I think that this has been ongoing for a while. I've seen it, but I'm really wondering, I definitely don't feel that the issue on Wired is a Wired residency issue as much as it may be accumulation of rubbish from our trash removal service.
So I'll address that, Rhonda, because I've addressed this before.
Okay.
And what we discovered, I went down there, occasionally on windy days when they pick up the barrel, it will blow around a little bit. But I went down there with Lynette, I guess 2 weeks ago, and we found that lots of people were just putting their trash by the curb. And
that could be the case, but down Barrington today, it was a hot mess.
That's what she's referring to, Ken. She's not
I'm talking about other neighborhoods, and I'm wondering if
Rhonda,
this is just a symptom.
Rhonda, I have to agree with you. And before you become a board member, I've always said this. And what Ken has offered as an explanation, I can kind of agree with him, is that people are not putting their trash into bags. They're putting it in loosely. So when they pick up those bins, automatically when they try to put it in, some of the trash fly because people are not doing the right thing.
Agree.
So that's a part of the problem too, but still it's an issue.
It's an issue.
Last year at the pandemic, we had our trash service suspended for about 3 weeks, and because the pandemic just hit. And we sent a email out, or we put a letter on the website, and we can reinstate this letter and update it. And essentially, it was prevailing upon people to please put their garbage into bags. Because
Supervisor, if I may add, can we also make sure that we put that whatever we put on the website, also put that in the newsletter as well?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I know when Republic sends their bills, sometimes they have some information on there, but I don't think they have that. There's always this issue from time to time that because these workers are not going to get out and pick up, papers.
For sure.
So I am actually in the process now of looking for a new ordinance officer and somebody who has a truck who also at the same time can do some localized garbage pickup for us. Because that's a real problem. I find there's garbage somewhere and I can't get anyone to pick it up. If it's off the right of way, Republic won't pick it up. If it's somebody dumps boards and bricks and stuff, Republic won't come and pick that up.
Right.
Yeah, so we have to find somebody, and I hope to have somebody in June to renew enforcement. In the meantime, Laura is working with Jennifer, and they are going to work together to keep a list of infractions. I'm actually going out and doing a little bit. I picked Brenda up this afternoon. We went out and we tagged a couple houses for grass, but it's going to start picking up with the grass.
Absolutely.
Well, Ken, like I said, until we find someone, Jennifer, we can use her to let her go tag homes if we need that. And she's willing to do that.
Yes, Jennifer told me that, and then possibly Laura can help out a little bit if Jennifer gets busy, and we can track the blight paperwork on that.
Mm-hmm.
So the final thing I want to talk about, and I don't think we're going to have an answer tonight, is return to work. I'm not talking about board meetings. I'm talking about all the employees returning back to work. And I think we need to start a discussion about that and maybe think about having further discussions or a decision by June. So, now I think everybody in the office here has been vaccinated except for one person. Everyone at the fire department has been vaccinated except I think 2 people who are, I guess, not wanting to do it. Everybody at the utility department has been vaccinated except I think 1 person. So I think we can start thinking about, recalling people, going back to work, because it's just, I think it's too soon to say it today because we're still getting some mixed messages on masking and vaccination, but we need to start thinking about that and having a conversation about that so that we can talk about it in more in depth in June.
I would agree. If it would help the thought process, the company that I work for, they're starting a 2-day-a-week return next week. And what they're doing is fully vaccinated people are coming in on Mondays and Thursdays, and they are not required to wear masks on Tuesdays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Those that are not vaccinated, when they come in, everyone in the office is required to wear a mask on those days. So eventually over the next month, they'll resume a 4-day week. But on the 2 days that the persons that are not vaccinated are in the office, they will all wear masks.
Yeah. I
And
think
I have a comment. You know, Ken mentioned except one person. I am that one person. I am allergic to the vaccine. And I wish that the governor, for public record, I wish that the governor and whomever else talks about COVID-19, when they talk about everybody needs to get vaccinated, she's leaving out one aspect of it.
Absolutely.
Those who are unable to
do it. Absolutely.
She needs to start talking about that a little bit more so we don't feel like leopards out there.
That's right. So that's why I said, and just if it would be for your safety, they should be masked on those days that you're in the office. The days that you're not in the office are the days they can be unmasked.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about publicly for the state of Michigan.
Yeah,
that's what's lost out.
Absolutely.
So I think over the next few weeks, there'll be more examples and more guidance coming. We'll be in a better position to make a decision. But I don't think anybody confused Lynette with being a leper. I think maybe a leopard, but not a leper.
What did I said the right word.
Okay, so that is my report for tonight. I really felt great about the court case going our way. It's like taking a lot of pressure off. I see that George is on. The judge says so what happened is our attorney had a transcript made of the meeting. So the judge said he had actually read the entire transcript of the meeting.
Right.
And I feel very good that when he says that we relied upon expert testimony, we weren't just out in left field saying no. So that takes care of my report. Can we get a motion on the departmental reports?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, and then I think that Juan is going to make an announcement regarding the Parks Commission activities for this summer. Juan, are you on? Can we promote Juan up, Laura?
Yep, doing it right now.
Okay.
We're waiting for Juan. Do you want me to make a report on the last Parks and Rec Commission meeting?
We'll let Juan do this. It's only take him a minute,
Okay.
then we'll have you do that.
Okay. Or I can just send in a written report.
You can take a few minutes and tell us.
All right.
We're going to have a short meeting. Is Juan there now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yep.
we sure
Okay.
can.
All right. Thanks for having me on. I just wanted to address a special event we have coming up. Lynette kind of got this all kicked off, and I'm very excited, and I'm sure she is as well. We're going to be collaborating with the Ann Arbor Summer Festival, along with the library and the school district, to host a concert at Fireman's Park. Ann Arbor Summer Festival, we're doing weekly concerts in Ann Arbor before the COVID hit. So this year is what they're doing is smaller events throughout Washtenaw County. So we are the second event on the docket. It is June 12th. It will be at Fireman's Park from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The school district will be out there with free meals for the kids. Adults can purchase food. The library will be out there with some educational things. I've been in contact with the sheriff's department. They will have deputies out there with their cruisers. Spoke with the chief. Fire department will be there with their the new rig they got. So all in all, shaped up to be a great event. The music will be about an hour to an hour and a half. It'll be a very short event. So we'll get a good turnout. Just advertising is kicking off right now. So really looking forward to this. Hopefully something that goes off good. We can make this a yearly thing with them.
Anybody have a
Juan,
question?
Excellent idea, Juan. Excellent idea.
What was the time again, Juan?
It is June 12th, which is a Saturday, and it is from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m.
Thank you.
So Juan,
Is there going to be food?
yes,
Free?
Yes,
yes.
Washington. Well, hold on about the free. The school district is providing food. It will be free to people to 18 and under will be free.
Oh,
Adults,
man.
it will be offered, but you will have to pay.
What about senior citizens?
They don't look out for you, Brenda. So,
Bring your AARP card, and maybe you can name drop your way to a meal.
Juan, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Are you going to put some flyers or anything like you used to do in the mailboxes for those populations over there that we're trying to reach?
Well, they did get the newsletter. It was in the newsletter. So we actually have a meeting on Wednesday on site with some of the key stakeholders. So
Okay.
that's something I can bring up and see if we can get that to happen, maybe through the school district.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Does anybody have any more questions for Juan on that issue?
Yes, I think, Juan, you should get free for senior citizens.
I will bring that up with the school district on
Thank
Wednesday
you.
and see if I can get it to stick.
Okay.
And then Juan, do you have an update for us regarding the DNR grant? Juan's the grant administrator for the DNR programs. So I believe you have a little bit of an update for us.
Sure. I'm not sure if everyone knows Kyle Salter from OHM. Did speak with him today. Spoke with him actually a couple weeks ago. There was some documents he was updating. We had submitted about a month ago. They needed some additional information. So that was just uploaded this morning to DNR, and I got an email back that they had received it. So that's moving along. I don't think their announcement date for grantee awardees is until September or October, but that's moving ahead. And that is for Ken. I believe that's the bridge and the walkway, the non-motorized trail.
It's not a bridge and a walkway. It's for the Dixboro non-motorized trail.
Oh, Dixboro. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, the other project. Okay, so Kyle actually did a lot. He does the bulk of the work. I go on and give him access and make sure the papers go where they need to get. But Kyle's really done a great job of effort he's put in that.
Right. But I'm glad you brought something up that you reminded me, is that the road commission contacted me regarding whether or not we would object to OHM handling some of the administration on the bridge and the non-motorized trail from Prospect to Berkshire. And I told them I didn't think anybody would object here. They just wanted to, they didn't want to formalize anything. They were just passing it out like, they designed it. You care if they inspect it. So it was we have a great deal of trust, but I bring it up at the board and I don't see any issues with it at all. And if George is there, maybe George could give us a little bit of an update if George has any update to give on where the project is at now.
Hello, good evening. Prospect Road Pathway, it's actually, it's out to bid with MDOT through their bidding process. So I think within the next few weeks, we're expecting the bids to open on that project, and we'll know who the contractors are that bid the project, and there'll be an award to a contractor for that. So I would say by the June board meeting, we'll have a little more direction on that one for the board. But project's moving along. It would likely start in the late summer.
All right. Thank you, George. Anybody have any questions for George? All right. Juan, you got a question?
Not for George. I have one more comment before I'm done.
Okay. All right. I'm not done with George yet. I'll get back to you.
Do George on.
Okay. So, George, thanks for that information. I think maybe in June, I'd ask you or somebody from OHM to come give us an update on the pump station. I see it looks like they have set some of the infrastructure down there, and they're making some progress now on the plan.
They are. They've been making a little better progress the last couple of weeks. They finally set that big wet well structure, and which was a big deal. So.
Yeah,
but they're definitely a little behind schedule, though.
Right. Yeah, we know that there were some issues with water, like there always is, and pumping, getting the site dry at a depth that you can work safely. It's always an issue, especially down at a very low point next to the drain. So, So maybe in June, probably in June, I'd ask that maybe you'd have something prepared and just give us a 10-minute overview on where the progress is at down there and time that we expect it to be complete, and just an update.
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
thank you, George. All right, Juan, you had another comment?
I had a quick 30 seconds point of interest in case anybody's interested. I was out to Cherry Hill Nature Preserve today. We actually did the prescribed burn there on Thursday. And I walked the park today, and the cicadas are knocking at the door. So
Are you serious?
everybody's heard about the brood cicadas. So I actually, there's a bunch of mounds are up. I pulled a couple and seen a couple in the ground. So if you want to check them out, probably by next weekend, they're going to be everywhere.
Wow.
So,
Did you want to say something, Rhonda?
No, I was just saying, no, I'm good.
Okay.
and there's a lot of good recipes online. So I'm not eating one, but,
Cicadas, yeah.
It could be biblical this year.
Oh my God. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, so we have a motion and support to receive the departmental reports. Any questions on any other reports?
Yes. Just one comment. There is no ordinance officer report, so strike that in your agenda. It should not be there.
Okay, I'll give it, since I've been kind of doing it, grass is growing. Some people are not
We don't
cutting.
have a written report.
All right. So thank you, Lynette. All in favor of receiving the report, say aye. Aye. All right, and then we have the Treasurer's Investment Report as of March 31st, 2021. You want to give us an update, Brenda?
Oh, this is just a quarterly report letting you know what banks the funds are in and the balances for the different accounts.
Interest is still low.
Oh, God, I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
Right. Yeah.
0.10.
All right, do we have a motion and support to receive the investment report?
So moved.
Support.
Any other questions for Brenda? Seeing none, all in favor of receiving the report, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it takes us to communications. Trustee Linke, yes.
Go on. Sorry.
Trustee Linke, do you have a report you want to make regarding Parks and Rec?
Sure. So there are a few things that you guys might be interested in. One is that the sidewalk will be built. This is at Community Park. The sidewalk's going to be built with county dollars, and it should be finished in the fall of 21 or next spring. They're also repairing a tennis court at Community Park, which should be completed next month. The Ypsi District Library and the local community are working on the traffic controls at the intersection of Harris and MacArthur. And I was going to tell you about that controlled berm, but Juan already did, and wanted to ask him about those cicadas. I really think we ought to have a field trip. I think that sounds pretty interesting.
Okay. We'll let you and Juan work that out for the board.
Okay, yeah, actually, Rhonda, since you want to go, we should meet there.
Yeah, we should meet there. Coffee.
All right.
I'm not sure she communicated her approval of going, but okay. So that anything else, Bernice?
No, that was it.
We have no unfinished business. New business resolution 2021-20 has been tabled to the next meeting. So the next new business is B, which is to appoint the township residents to the master plan revision committee. In your board packet, you're going to find we had a lot of people who applied, and Laura and Rick and Ben kind of went through this. I think everybody on there except one person. So I'm going to recommend the following people. And if anybody has an objection to any individual, we'll take that one at a time. But I'm going to recommend Bill Mathewson, Bill Shakora, Dave Raymond, Ross Gladwin, Michelle McIntyre, Tom Freeman, Jack Smiley, Brenda Baker, Ken Schmidt, Rod Green, Gene Winborn, and Jack Goodnow. The Board of Trustees representatives will be Lynette and Bernice, and Tom Brennan, Emily Davish will be from the Planning Commission. So if I could get a motion of support.
So move.
Okay. And then, Laura and Ben, and I guess to a lesser extent, Rick, are going to be sort of managing the affairs of the master plan committee. But when the next action will be to set the first meeting by Zoom. And Laura's already sent out a packet to all these people indicating that most likely they would be approved tonight. And they could read 3 documents that were sent, one by Ben, the roster of people that are subject to approval tonight, and then some information about what is a master plan. So hopefully we'll have a meeting in the next month, and we can get back to having in-person meetings during the course of the summer, because it's going to be 16 people on the committee. And I think it's good that we went high instead of low, because there's always people that can't make it. Mm-hmm. And then you'll find there are people like Dave Raymond. He's not a township resident, but he is, I think Lynette knows his actual title, but he's the CEO, I believe, of one of the CEOs of St. Joseph or Trinity. So they're going to have a huge impact. What's going to be happening at St. Joseph.
You're muted, Ken. Yeah. You're muted again.
What is that?
No, I'm not. Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me, Lynette?
And I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. So, we have some good representation from Dixboro. We have a nice mixture of people from the farm country, then also south of Getty's in the subdivisions. So we got Lynette, we got Bernice. They represent the township as a whole, but they also live in different parts of the township. So I think that we have a really good, and Tom Brennan and Nimley, same thing. So I think we got a good group to start pulling this all together. And so if I could get, I got a motion in support. I
would like to make one comment. I'm pleased that our planning commission, Lynette and Tom, is on there because they have experience. And even though they have been here for just a short time, well, not a short time, they're very knowledgeable.
Forever, quite frankly.
Right. But you guys are very knowledgeable what's going on and what's needed. And you're going to look out for the best interest of the entire township. So I want to thank you, Lynette and Tom, and the people from south of Getty's who's going to be on that committee. Thank you.
I echo Brenda's comments on that, and that is a great idea. And like you said, and I do really admire the folks who are going to be speaking up for the folks that are south of Getty's.
Yeah, we have a good contingent, and I don't think it's inappropriate to say this, but Rod Green is going to go on, and Rod was on SimCog. He's on the road commission. He's a trustee. He's got a lot of experience. But if you don't know, Rod lost his wife over the last week.
No,
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I don't
he did.
know.
She was in hospice, and she was sick for a long time. She's been sick for years. Years.
Definitely our
Thanks
condolences.
for letting us know, Ken. I don't think that's inappropriate.
Okay, so because we can't pay for flowers out of our township money, we should take a collection at some point. And I don't think arrangements have been made yet, so I'm not sure what's happening. With COVID, things are getting delayed, but we should reach out and give our condolences to Rod. He's always been an important member of our community, and I'm really happy that he's going to serve on this. And then also Brenda Baker, who was on our planning commission in the past, is being appointed, and I think she's going to be very beneficial to this.
Absolutely.
So,
committee to support Superior Township, along with Jean Winborn, who's Ypsilanti District Library. She'll be very helpful too.
Oh, she's going to be
a well-rounded committee.
Oh, for sure.
She's going to be on the planning commission. I mean, the master plan.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Citizen committee, right? So they'll be kind of shaping things up, working with the consultants. A lot of this is driven by the consultant, but a lot of it is driven by what people want to see in their own community. And these are the advocates for the various interests in our community: agriculture, village, subdivision, open space. So got a little bit of everything, and they got a nice mix of people. I think it's diverse in every way we can think of. We have we have people with the Conservancy on here, so all interests are going to be addressed, and we'll hopefully come out with something. Lynette, did we call the question yet?
No, you didn't call.
Okay, still moved.
So moved. So moved.
Support.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the nomination, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say aye. The same sign. There are no objections. And that takes us to bills for payment and record of disbursements. If I get a motion on that.
Move the bills. Gotta pay the
Support.
bills.
All right. Any questions? Anybody have anything they want to point out? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of approving the bills and record of disbursement, say aye.
Aye.
Please, and petitions, is there anybody on the board or anybody in the audience that would like to address the board regarding any subject? Laura, has anybody raised their hand?
No, we don't have any hands raised.
Okay.
I do have
So we
one
have-
comment, real quick. It's real quick. We're going to make a comment about the minutes and everything earlier today, this evening. And I just want to give a shout out to, I didn't say the name of my deputy clerk, is Sarah Collier, who's, in the beginning, it takes time to get you ready to do the minutes, but she's doing a fantastic job with the minutes. So I just want to give a shout out for her and what she does.
You guys are doing a lovely job, Lynette. Lovely job.
Kudos to your department.
Sarah's an excellent deputy.
Yes, she
She's
is.
an excellent deputy.
Yes, she
Also, Lynette, you might want to announce about Sarah Moon.
Well, they don't really know Sarah Moon. Sarah Moon was the person, my
Administrative assistant.
temporary, yes, full-time
Mhm.
person, and I had to advertise again today, in fact. Well, Sarah Moon came from Ford Motor Company during the pandemic, and
Right.
she was making buku money before coming
Right.
to Superior Township. And I always told Sarah Collier that, oh, she won't be here long. As soon as everything started going,
Right.
she'll be called back. And that's exactly what happened. And in my comment, when she emailed me, letting me know, I told her she's a true sign that things are getting back to normal, because
Good.
she called back to her real place of employment. So
She's
I'm
a
very
good
happy.
person too.
Yes,
I've
sweetheart.
known her
Great
for a
job.
while.
Great job.
Yep.
She was
Well, you
very
know how that
efficient.
goes, Lynette. When
Absolutely.
I've gone through that over and over with people too. You know how that goes. I mean, just keep your list of people. So,
Well, we already did, and we have people
Mhm.
calling in, and we advertised through Indeed and put it on the website. So we've had about 4 inquiries already.
right.
Say something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Who wants to say something?
You were going to say something.
Oh.
Motion to adjourn.
I guess motion to adjourn.
Support.
So moved.
All right. You vote by leaving the meeting.
Mhm.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
great day, everyone.
Everyone.
Bye.
too.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm high strung, Nick.
Scared?
Evicting you from the press. What did you think they would do? You gave away all our leverage. The deal we had to take, it was 100 times worse. Nick, I know I went off the deep end, really. But I signed the contract and I have turned the page. I've been clean and sober for 2 weeks. I even look better. Thanks for noticing. What is this? $1 million a year? I don't have to do anything. Well, it's not as simple as that. Well, I know it's not as much money as I'm used to, but we'll be fine. I need to start over. Set up meetings all over town. We'll find a new backer. You can't just go work for somebody else. I know that's what they said, but they can't hold me to that. Of course they can. That was the agreement. Well, then get me out of it. You sold your name, Austin. Anything you make or try to sell, S-Mark owns that. For how long? For a year? 5 years? For the rest of your life. You are not Halston anymore. They are. Well, moving forward, next time I sign a contract, I'll be sure to read it first. Well, what can I do?
Design dresses for your friends? But they can't say they're wearing Halston.
I'm doing 2 Oscar dresses for Angelica Houston and Geraldine Page.
Well, then you'll be doing it out of your own pocket. And they can't say they're wearing a Halston. This is their pound of flesh, Halston. This is what you have to give up to get $1 million every year without lifting a finger. There's also the subject of Victor. He's threatening us now. If we don't pay him off, he said he's sending those tapes to People magazine.
Just give him the money.